Hello, and welcome back to my channel. It has been almost 2 years since I've uploaded anything. That's pretty wild. Um, so if you're new, if you have stayed a subscriber, if you are wondering where the heck I've been for the last year and a half, I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm doing so good. It's just been an insane year and a half, honestly. My life has changed very drastically, which is why I basically just fell off the face of the earth. I don't want to go too much into it, just for the sake of my privacy, the other people's privacy that it involves. But in a nutshell, last year I ended up going through a divorce and a job loss simultaneously. Definitely not on my 2024 or really any bingo card, but life happens, things happen, and like I said, ultimately I really don't want to go into that, just for his privacy, and for mine too, of course. But yeah, it just that's what happened. That's where I've been. I have no hard feelings for him, for anything there. I wish him the best, all of that. But honestly, it was the worst year of my life. And I'm not telling any of this for pity. I'm not asking for your sympathy. I'm genuinely just speaking here from my heart. But it was the worst year of my life. I would never wish a divorce on anyone. It is literally like a death, except the person is still living. And so it was extremely painful. But I grew so much as a person in all of that, and I learned things about myself. For example, something deep down that I had kind of always desired was to live alone. And I never thought that would happen. I literally went from living at home with my parents to moving in and getting married to, well, that's just it. And last year, the universe is like, actually, we're gonna do that. And I was like, all right, this is what we're doing, So last year I did move into an apartment by myself, and I learned so much about myself and just who I am as a person, my own inner strength that I have that I didn't know that I had. And it was a really good, hard year by myself. I honestly though, I can't sit here and say that I did this all on my own, because I didn't. And I think when you go through something like that, you really figure out who's there for you and who your core people are. And I definitely learned that. But one thing that I did learn last year, and that I remember I just kept hearing over and over in my mind, was no one is coming to save you. You have to do this on your own. You have to figure it out. You have to pick up the pieces yourself. And that is definitely true. And that's not, again, that's not me sitting here saying that I did it all on my own, because my parents helped me out tremendously. I got a new job, and I worked at an all-women's fitness gym, and those women literally saved me. They came in, and I moved into my apartment and pretty much had nothing, And so many of them are like, what do you need? How can we help? What can we get for you? And they just essentially like supplied my apartment, and it was just like for free. Like they didn't expect anything. They didn't ask for money. They were just doing it from the kindness of their heart, and that just saved me in so many ways. And I'm just forever grateful to that gym, those ladies, and just I made some lifelong friends in that. And it's just something that I'm eternally grateful for. Like, would I wish going through a divorce and a job loss at the same time, or ever even singularly, on my worst enemy? Absolutely not. But did beauty come from that? Absolutely. And because there is always going to be good in something, even if you can't see it. And trust me, I didn't see it for a long time. I truthfully didn't. And so my life has just been a whirlwind. And I feel like last year, in 2024, that's when everything began to happen. And I got the privilege, and that's something that I will never take for granted, was that I lived in Florida, and I got the privilege to go back to my hometown, into my home state, and just literally do nothing for 4 months. I did absolutely nothing. All I did for 4 months was work out if I felt that I could muster up that sort of motivation and movement that day, and cry. Like, those are the two things that I did last year, every day, multiple times a day. And that was a time in my life that I never truthfully want to ever go back to. Again, there was good in that, but like in that broken version of me, I never want to go back to. And I love her, and I'm grateful for her, and she went through so much. But I'm very thankful for where I am now. And but during that time for 4 months, I was so privileged that I have a family that loves me the way that they do, because I didn't have to work. And I literally just stayed at my mom's house for 4 months, and I didn't have to worry about bills. I didn't have to worry about getting a job, finding a place to stay. I literally just sat and mourned my life for 4 months. And so much grief and so much pain came out in those 4 months that I feel like I did more healing in those 4 months than I feel like I've ever done in my entire life. I was able to do that. I was able to mourn. But then I ended up going back to Florida because I know that I was being called back there. And I know that I had to go back because there was still so much healing that I had to do to be physically present with. And I felt like when I went back that it was so healing for me, because then I began to go to, not intentionally, but just things happened to where like I would go and I had to face those demons again, and I had to overcome that sadness, and I had to mourn those emotions again. And I know looking back now that was so healing for me, because then no longer did those things control me, and no longer did it have like this hold on me. So for example, you guys have seen it before on my videos, or like my YouTube shorts. I went to Disney World a lot. I had season passes. I went a lot. And so coming back to Florida, you know, my best friend, her name is Caitlin, we decided to go for her birthday this last March to Disney World for her birthday, because that's what she wanted to do. And so then we ultimately decided that we wanted to kind of do that every month. And I remember the first couple times that we went, it was very difficult for me because I had only done that one other time. And I remember just feeling like, how can I do this again? And there was just a lot of memories there that held you know, there was just a lot of memories there. And it was very difficult going again. And it literally took us going 2 to 4, somewhere in that time frame, different times of us going, for me to just finally like be okay and get in rhythm and just be like, instead of being like, oh, I've done this before because da 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 da, now it's like, oh, Kate and I did this. Oh, this is where Kate and I went. Oh, we did this. And then the same thing with like NBA basketball games. Kate and I had gone to 2 or 3 games, and that was something else that I had to mourn, that I had to overcome that obstacle. And that's not to diminish that part of my life and just to be like, oh, that part doesn't matter anymore, that those memories don't exist, they are irrelevant. It's more of a layering aspect, and it doesn't take away or diminish, but it's just like, okay, it doesn't sting as bad anymore because now I have new memories that I'm placing on top of it. And it's truly beauty coming from the ashes. And like, I genuinely feel like and I don't want to sound selfish when I say this, but like, I genuinely feel so proud of myself for all of the ways that I've overcome all the obstacles that have been thrown at me. And that's not to say that I've handled them perfectly, because God knows I haven't. Because I am a human and I do have emotions that surface and bubble up, but I've really tried extremely hard to work on them, to overcome them. And so that leads me into my next point, which is that I don't think that you guys knew this, I'm not for sure, but I actually used to be a power lifter, and I competed in 5 different meets in 2017 and 18. It was crazy. And then in 2018, I was like, I actually don't want to do this anymore because it's very taxing on your body, and it's very exhausting. And physically, emotionally, mentally, like, it's exhausting. It's a very mental sport as much as it is physical. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. Well, then I started work at the gym, the studio that I worked at, and I was shadowing the head coach. Her name is Lindsay, incredible human, and she's a power lifter. And I just began to, like, I've always watched her. I've known her for years. And I remember kind of like her saying, like, asking me that. And I was like, no, like, I'm retired. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I remember it was in January of 25. And I remember like having a conversation with her, and I was like, I think I'm kind of getting the itch for it again, you know? And she was like, okay, we'll take some time, think about it. And if you want to do it, let's do it, because she's a coach in that. And like, she would train me as well. And didn't even take a day. Maybe I took a day. I really genuinely don't think that I took a full 24 hours. And I was like, let's do it. And so literally from January until May, I was in prep and I was training. And it lit a fire in me that I didn't realize that I had, like down deep in my belly. And I remember I was extremely nervous to compete again. And I competed in May. And I remember being on the platform, and I was petrified because I hadn't been on the platform in 7 years. And I remember feeling so scared to do it. And squat, so in powerlifting, you have 3 compound lifts: squat, bench, deadlift. You get 3 attempts at each. But if you fail your squats, then you can't do the other 2. And then there's judges that watch you and all of that. And you have to get at least 2 white lights to pass. So anyways, so squats are my arch nemesis. Out of the 3, they're my least favorite. And so I remember I squatted my first one, and I was like, oh, thank God I'm not disqualified. I got all 3 green lights. And then I did my other 2 lifts, and again, I got green lighted. And I remember, like, after my squat session, my 3 attempts were done and I passed. I remember, like, I walked over to like where my family and friends were, and I just started crying. And I like bent over and I was just crying because it was releasing so much and I didn't realize it. And I was not crying tears of sadness, but just happiness and like joy and just like excitement that like I did this. I did this for myself. I said that I was going to do something and I stuck to it even on the hard days, even on the days that like I didn't feel like working out, and I did it. And I like it healed so much inside of me. And then I did my other two. And then fast forward a little bit more, I ended up coming in third place in my weight class, and I had a unicorn day, which is 9 out of 9 on my lifts, which just essentially means I got white lighted every single time. And I didn't hit any PRs because that wasn't my goal with this meet. It was literally just to show up for myself in that aspect and show up on the platform. But I did pull on deadlifts. I did pull 303, which I've done before, but I hadn't pulled that in 7 years. So I mean, it was so good, and so it was just like I was like, I'm alive again. I'm breathing. Like I can do this. I can do hard things. And like that is something that I drilled into my girls' heads at the studios, and like I showed up for myself and I did that, and that was something that like I was so proud of. And so fast forward to now, which feel like I'm kind of going all over the place, but I'm not trying to make this like a huge long thing, even though we're already at 17 minutes. But my life has again drastically changed in so many ways. I also no longer live in Florida. I literally, and it's so crazy because literally, I remember in 2024 thinking that I was going to leave for a little bit. And this was way before like I even fully knew anything that was like genuinely going to happen in my life. But I was like, I feel like I'm going to be leaving Florida and then I'm going to come back, but only for like a year. And the universe is like, actually, that's right. Sort of. And I was like, all right. And I like thought that I would still stay in Florida, but like not be in the part that I was in, but just go to like a different coast, basically. And things happened, and I met someone, and his name is David, and he's the sweetest guy in the whole world. And he's just genuinely like, I am my own home, and like I am my own safe space, and like, you know, all those things. Like I will never not listen to myself and my intuition and like myself again, but he is my safe space. And I did so much healing on my own, and I am truly proud of that. But this man has healed my heart and shown me love in a way that I've never experienced. And he's just genuinely, I got cut off because I swear this man's ears were burning, because I kid you not, as I'm sitting here talking about him to you, he literally comes in the door. And I was like, so I had to stop the video. And I was like, I know. And he got, like, I didn't expect him for at least another 30 minutes. So that was pretty crazy. And like a synchronicity between us. And obviously neither of us expected it. So that was cool. But anyways, like he just genuinely is such a good man and such a good soul. And I feel like with anyone, but I genuinely feel like him and I have like done our own healing on our own, but we've come together and like healed each other's hearts in different aspects and ways. And it has just been such an incredible thing to be a part of and to just feel that. And genuinely, like, I'm so excited for this next chapter of my life and just like where it's gonna go. So like I had mentioned, I have left Florida, which I honestly never thought that I would do because I love Florida so much. But I have moved, and now I actually live in Georgia. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever say that, but I've never envisioned my life to be what it is today. But, you know, things happen, life happens, and it's just, never say never, and like you can have a plan and then things play out and the universe is like, actually, we're not going to do that. And so it's just, it's a wild ride. And like, I don't get so high strung on these are the plans and this is what I'm going to do and this is how I see things, because I've learned the hard way that that's not how things always play out. And I'm just extremely grateful for my life, for where I am today. And I'm really, really excited to be back into YouTube. I have thought about it so much, and like, I might even insert the clip here, but I filmed this if I can. But I filmed this specific video clip on Christmas Day last year. Hello. It has been a minute since I have talked to you guys. There's been a lot that's happened in my life. It is Christmas 2024. Today is Christmas. And I've been crying. Today is not an easy day by any means. I feel like there's so much that I want to fill you guys in on with my life and all the things that have happened since my last video in February, I think it was. So much has happened, so much has changed. 2024 has been one of the hardest years of my life. So much change, so much grief, and there's also been beauty in it, and pain, and I just I don't fully know where I'm gonna start with this video or how it's gonna be or what it's gonna be, but I just wanted to pick up my camera. I've been feeling that nudge, and I haven't posted in months and months, and over the last couple of weeks I've gotten a couple of comments on my old videos, and I've gotten about like 3 to 4 new subscribers since within the last couple weeks, like 2 weeks really, which is weird because I haven't put any content out there. So to me that just feels like it's a sign that like I need to get back to filming, and I do miss it, and I don't know what kind of content I'm gonna put out. I don't know what my channel will be or will become. Hold on. We had a brief intermission because my mom called me. So yeah, there's been a lot of life changes with me. There's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of heartache and pain. Yeah, it's been a lot, and I guess the only thing I want to say for now is just that so much can happen in a year that you don't even know. Like, I remember from the years 2020 to 21, that year, I've always heard the saying, so much can change in a year, and literally my life felt the exact same. I had the same job, same car, same house, same everything. Like, nothing felt different for me. I was in the same position. And then from 21 to 22, a lot had changed. And then from 22 to 23, a lot, I guess, still had changed, but yet so much of it was the same. It just felt mundane and, like stagnant, I guess. And then 24 happened, and it has rocked my world in so many ways. It's just crazy, But yeah, today is Christmas. I definitely do not feel like celebrating. I've cried a lot today. And I don't know the intent or the point of this video, but I just have really felt led to pick my camera back up and talk to you guys. And so that's what I'm here to do. And if you are still a subscriber of my channel after almost an entire year of what, 10 months of no uploads, like, I mean, thank you for staying and sticking around, whether it's because you were just hopeful that I would come back or just, oh, I forgot I was subscribed to your channel, you know, whatever the reason. I'm just thankful that you're here, and I am excited to pick up my camera again and to just vlog, share videos, whatever it is that I end up sharing. But I just I'm so thankful that you're here. I love getting to sit and just talk to a camera, basically. And I think the point of my channel going forward, whether it is YouTube videos as far as like what I've created in the past, hauls, day in the life, night, routines, whatever I do going forward, whether it's that or something else, I want my intent to help others and to be a light to them and to let them know that they're not alone. And there's definitely a difference in feeling alone and being lonely. Those are two completely different things. And right now in this moment, I feel alone and mildly lonely, but I know things are looking up, and I know that good things are on the horizon. I'm positive of that. But anyways, this is a lot of chattiness, but I just wanted to say hello. It's so nice to see you again, even though you're the one seeing me, and I'm so thankful for you, and I hope that you're well. And I'm excited to see where this journey goes, to see what my channel entails for both of us. I feel like it's going to be a journey that we're going to figure out together, but I'm excited for that. I love you, and I will see you soon. And I anticipated to get back into YouTube a year ago, basically, because today is November 14th. So literally almost a year ago, I planned to be back, and I've been putting it off because I just essentially didn't know what to say, didn't know what to post. It had been so long. And so I just felt weird kind of coming back, but I genuinely love it. I love talking to a camera. I love showing up for you guys and posting content that I like to see, that I know that you guys like to see. And so it's just a true passion of mine. And I'm just what is holding me off, I'm never gonna get back into it if I never start. So I just ultimately decided today that I would get back into it. And so here I am. I have a new job now, so I'm actually gonna be working with a physical therapy company, and in that company, I'm their personal trainer, and so I'm really excited to do that. So this, obviously, YouTube is a hobby of mine, and so my plan is to get back to what I was doing, a video a week, and just kind of getting the feel for it again, maybe every other week. It just honestly just depends. But my intent is to continuously pick up content again, because I just love it so much and it makes me so happy. So if there are videos that you want to see from me, please, please, please let me know. Just leave it in the comments and I will do my best to accommodate that. I truly don't know if my channel is going to be the same, if it's going to be different. I honestly don't know. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, feel into it, see what feels good, what feels right for me, for my channel, for my viewers, and just kind of go from there with it. But I am super excited to be back filming again. It feels so good to be in front of a camera and just like talking to you and just kind of giving you like a general overview of where I've been, what my life has been like in the last year and a half. And I'm just happy to be back with you again. So I hope that you like this video. Thank you so much for being here, for staying subscribed this entire time. I'm excited to be on this journey again with you, and I will see you soon. Bye.